And we are back to the hot as hell San Francisco edition of SC2L. I'm Jeff in Control Robinson, joined by Day9 Plot, Sean Day9 Plot.
Ooh.
My bad. Sean, we didn't talk about this. What are you up to these days? Before we start this game, tell me about yourself. What are you doing?
What am I doing? Well, I'm leaning back into my fan because it is
now,
also...
Sean. God.
Oh, well, I am quite thrilled with the fact that with WCS and Heart of the Swarm going on, I have access to the most excellent of replays for the Day9 Daily, so It's been nothing but the sweet WCS games getting broken down. And aside from that, I burned probably $200 on the Steam Summer Sale.
Nice.
So I have been eagerly looking forward to playing a whole bunch of games. In fact, one of my favorite old RTS games I'm going to be playing probably after this league, it's called KKND.
What?
Crush, Kill, and Destroy. Have you even heard of this game?
I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I've been playing a lot of games for many years. You know this. And I've never heard of that game once in my life. Not even
KKND, man. Let's see if anyone...
What is it?
Crush, Kill, and Destroy.
Crush is spelled with a C, Sean. They spelled it wrong.
Well, I mean, CKND sounds like a perfume line.
It does, actually. You're right. KK is way better. You can't go triple K, though. It couldn't be like Crush, Kill, Kick.
No, you can't. You can't even say that in Battle.net. Look,
you can't.
Now that the game started it, type KKK.
Oh, that's interesting.
See, look at that.
Well, what? It came through.
Well, you must have a mature language filter turned off. In the top right hand.
Oh! If you have it on, it won't let you do that?
That's correct.
Damn. Hey, look, you don't have it on either, though, by the way, dude. We can both cuss. You ready? All right, here's what we're going to do, Sean. You type in a curse word, I'll type in one, and on 3, you type it in, okay? We'll see what it is. You ready?
On
1, 2, 3, go. No, that's not a curse word. Sean, you failed.
I'm not funny at all.
You failed.
But I entertain myself.
You got all nervous. You got nervous you're going to upset somebody. It's all right, Sean. Someday we're going to get you to curse. All right.
Oh,
I actually, insider secret here, I actually typed in bitch, but then erased that because I was afraid it might be a little bit too harsh. So I went with ass, which could just be a donkey. Although in my defense, bitch is female dog as well. And who knows, I could have been talking about that as well. Shout out to everyone's children that are watching tonight's SC2L. This is not the way you should use the English language, and In Control is sorry.
In the bottom left-hand corner, the lesser-known aggressive grinding player who's earned himself a spot on the GM EU ladder and is hoping to avoid losing to this proxy barracks is at the left. It is Minato from Team Navi. In the top right corner, pulling off a great mech win in Week 1. Can he do it again from ROOTGaming? It is Masa.
Did Masa beat Snoot? Is that who we watched him beat?
That's correct. Masa did rather one-sidedly beat Snoot.
Yeah. Neoplanet S. We were talking about the Roaches versus Tanks and how that works out. Day9, talk to me about this proxy, I believe 11 Racks Reaper. What does this do? How does it work?
Well, I mean, the goal is to begin forcing your opponent down a path that's obviously less drone heavy, but in particular that will not be good against a gas-based follow-up. Because Masa obviously has already started a very, very early geyser. He needs some justification for getting that early geyser, so gas-based aggression such as going for mech, totally legit way to do that. And because this is going to be showing up so quickly, I mean, look at this great control from Masa. He's trying to work his way around.
Yeah, you gotta be careful that last SCV. I actually half expected. Oh wow, it just gets it in there. Another Reaper is queued up, ready to go. This one Reaper is going to go to town. Now these Reapers, they don't have the grenades of before, so they're not really that fantastic against structure. So that Spine Crawler, for right now, will be ignored in the name of greater damage inside the main base. Lings are about to pop. They want to look for the pin. They're not going to get it, and the Reaper's going to dance back towards that bunker.
So right now, Masa, again, trying to force Minato to do things like build the Spine Crawler, like build fewer drones, overbuild Lings. Masa's got to be careful. I mean, sitting at the bottom of the ramp is kind of a recipe for disaster. Spine Crawler is going to finish up. But look at that third Reaper en route. We see a factory getting constructed as well. So Masa may very well be going for 4 or 5 Reaper and Hellion contain.
And this is going to be quite strong. You can see speed is at about 60%, or at least approaching it, but there's not a lot of Lings out. 6 more coming out just now. And without speed, they are the inferior combatant. They're going to kind of respect the Reapers and try to hide. But look at all this mismining time. I mean, behind this, there is another command center. There's a factory going down, as you talked about. Moss is teching up just fine. This is not an all-in by any means. This is just a, I mean, it's just a pressure attack.
Yeah, he's going to have to get an extra command center now to make up for the fact that he was on 1 CC for so long. C Factory's done, gets its own reactor all by itself. One thing that's nice about going Reaper, you don't really have to build a lot of depots, so you save up quite a bit of funds.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That creep tumor actually almost went down, so that's why I sighed amidst your beautiful point. These Lings do have speed just now, so the Reapers are probably going to have to back away. While Lings without speed are significantly more inferior than the Reapers, with speed, they can't actually run them down. There's actually no retreat for the Reapers. The only kiting ability they have is if they have quite like a cliff to hop up where they have a lot of space, but they're not going to have either of that. Third CC does go down, and with this, a reactor on the factory. So the nice thing about this opening is that while the barracks does have to float back, which might suggest mech play, nope, as I say that, there's additional barracks going down. The nice thing about it, I guess what I'm trying to say, is you don't really skip a beat. Like, your Hellions are going to come out as if you did CC first. Of course, it's a very different build from that.
So it looks like Masa is going to be waiting until those Hellions pop out and then immediately begin applying the pressure again. So this is, for everything that's going on, Masa's basically containing. I mean, you might say, oh, he did kill 2 or 3 workers. He forced a spine crawler. But, I mean, this doesn't... You don't lose the game because you build a spine crawler. I mean, it's just slowing stuff up. Uh-oh.
John, okay. And it gets to surround him, actually. The Hellion's getting a lot of damage done to him. One does go down. The Reapers that look... They might actually get ran... This whole army might get ran down.
Oh, no. This is a disaster. This should not be happening. The other 2 Hellions arrived just in time, but Reaper count has fallen down to 1. It looks like it might even fall down to 0 if he's not careful. So, I mean, Masa just botched that real hard.
And to add insult to injury, the Lings are going to scout out everything. I mean, seeing the double engineering bay is nice. That does confirm you are, in fact, facing Bio. He probably... I mean, well, I was going to say he could figure that out for himself, but honestly, with the amount of Hellions that were out there, sure, it's just off the 1 reactor of the factory, but your imagination could go wild, and Masa is known for his mech, but seeing the double engineering bay, again, that does confirm Bio. Behind this, though... Oh, sorry. There we are. Floating... Okay. So the barracks was bleeping on the minimap, and I was like, there's an attack in the main. How is this possible? Nope, it's a scouting barracks. Never mind.
Scouting barracks, of course, seeing no layer. That is such a sigh of relief moment because, you know, okay, I'm only going to be up against Baneling busts or Roach busts. So we see the instant swap from Masa. He's getting the tank marine count up. He's completing that wall off, and he's, of course, sending another bout of Hellions out to the front. It's kind of weird to be getting that many Hellions, but it makes sense if you scout absolutely no layer and you don't think your opponent's very far ahead in tech.
You know, I feel like part of it is that he has to. I think, at least in his head, he says, you know what, okay, that first round got surrounded and killed. That sucks. But you need the or excuse me, not Reapers, but the Hellions. You need them out there to fight that creep tumors, to control towers, that kind of thing. Again, you'd rather not make a total of 12 or 10 or whatever it is that he did make. This is a lot of Hellions. But I guess with how poorly he controlled the first batch, the role remains important.
Absolutely. I mean, like, knocking down that creep spread, I mean, Spine Crawler going to get set up in position. Moss is going to pull over here and may very well scan if he has the extra money to. Looks like he's still muling.
Oh my gosh. It's in transition again.
Oh no.
You got to sit still, buddy. You're just way out of position. Okay. Actually, Moss is not taking full advantage. I feel like he could have killed that Spine Crawler. He's going to back away. I suppose, Sean, he's just content with the fact that he knows the Zerg's on 2 base. So why risk taking on a Spine Crawler when you could have just a healthy pack of 6 Hellions, I suppose?
Yeah. There's a scan, picking off, even getting the critical creep tumor. So now this is nightmare time for Minato. This counter set of Lings is going to do no good.
No.
It's really just to find out if there's a third landed.
Well, this is his Hail Mary pass right now. He's like, maybe if he has been making 17 command centers right now, I could win the game. That is, in fact, not the case. This is a full wall, and as you pointed out, these interior bases are waiting on their 2-2 upgrades. A little bit of a mistiming there, but again, if you're this far ahead, I guess you don't really need to worry about it as much. Armory is just about to complete, but Bonato's making attempt at third base number 2 here at 11 minutes. I mean, yowzers.
Yeah, I mean, he's way far behind. Oh, I mean, yowzers indeed, Jeffrey in control Robinson. This is a total yowzers moment for the Zerg. And he's kind of giving me a yowzers moment, too.
Wait a second.
That's a hive.
That is a hive. I was like, wait a second, how is he making oversteers? Because my mind kept like going back to this hatchery, and I'm like, What is that? No, that's a hive. Okay, so Sean, why? Why is he going hive?
I think he's just going to be going for straight Ultra, which I have never really seen in this position. He's going to get, it looks like based upon his gas, probably 3 to 4 Infestors, but no more. And then he's just going to go for the Ultras right away. And this might seem totally weird, but he is ahead in upgrades. So Masa won't have the most effective push-outs. Masa also does not have combat shield, so, I mean, an Ultra timing could do some serious damage.
You know what? I feel like it's his best bet. It looks really weird, and certainly low econ Ultras is not the favorable place. You'd rather, you know, have a robust 4 bases or whatever, and I'm sure Minato would agree with us. But as it is, right now, what basically Masa's in autopilot. He's just churning out Marine. Of every once in a while, there's a Marauder in there, and also Widow Mines. But if you knew Ultras were coming, if you knew a hive was going down this fast, his army composition would look very different. We'd be seeing maybe still Widow Mines, but certainly more Marauders, maybe even Thors.
Yeah, he has those 2 extra barracks in his main, and this is really the deciding moment where we get to see where Masa's head is at. It looks like he actually wants to go for Hellbats, which is not going to be the best play here. He's getting the armor upgrade. He has a starport with the reactor right next to a factory that's sort of conspicuously planted there. So he is getting mines, but still needs a lot of Marauders. I'm hoping he doesn't go for Hellbats.
Yeah, and he's actually, as you said, he is moving out before Combat Shield as well. I mean, of course, it isn't forgotten. It is being upgraded. It does complete rather fast, so maybe by the time it gets over there, there will be that Combat Shield. That being said, though, there's only 2 medevacs here, so if this battle turns sour, and on that production tab, you can see 3 Ultras are about to come out, which is more than enough to handle this, especially in conjunction with the Lings and the Infestors. Masa can't actually evacuate everything, and there it is. First fungal goes down.
Oh, man.
And one more fungal for the... Nope. Okay, I was worried that those Widow Mines would get fungaled as well.
Wow, I mean, Minato, in the midst of all this, is not missing a beat with his upgrades. He's already getting level 3. He's trying to bait a mine plant, but nope, mine's not getting set off yet. Minato being very patient, waiting for that Ultralist to pop out, and here comes all the Zerglings in the mines! Just decimate that front line, and there it looks like Minato is going to force Masa back. Has all those upgrades coming, too.
That went really well for Minato. I mean, he's actually still down in supply. That's kind of the nature of ZVT. The Terran is the much more tradable race, and of course, once we get more towards 4 bases, and you start retaining units like Ultralists and Infestors instead of Lings, which get recycled out every battle, the Zerg's going to kind of flip on that, but that battle could not have gone better, I feel like, for Minato. He did a great job of fungling in those units, stopping them in their tracks, and then crushing them with those Sithing Talons. Or, what are they called? Kaiser Blades.
Dude.
They were Siths in Brood War.
That's fine. Well, it looks like the Marines from also Brood War firing their U-238 uranium shells.
Are they the same rifle? I can't remember.
No, it's a Gauss rifle. No, it's a C-14 Gauss rifle.
Yeah.
Here, but
okay, so in Brood War it was C-38, you said?
It was U-238.
Oh, U-238, of course. Standard issue.
What is this push from Minato? This is such a weird timing.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, if you're Terran, you are never going to be getting attacked right now. Even if your first push fails, the Zerg is going to be on the defensive, but we see a big drop from Masa at the natural expansion of Minato.
And this is why you don't push out, Sean. You're absolutely right. I mean, this base is toast. Lings running into Marines behind there. In fact, the Marines could probably escape from the Ultras. I don't know that they can fit back there. I think on the right side they might be able to. But Masa, it looked like he was up against the ropes with that attack over at the 3rd because it failed so poorly. But then Minato got a little bit overeager and lurched forward, losing most of his Infestors, if not all of them. Let's check here. Actually, he did lose all of them. And then in the background, Masa just doing what you're supposed to do against that Hive Tech. Drop, drop, drop.
Now the 4th is down, but it's not actually really doing anything. It's just sort of a vestigial 4th base at this point in time. So we're going to see Masa try to do a little run around tactics, try to take it out. But +3 is almost done, and the Ultralist Kaiser Blades are stupidly better in HOTS. I mean, 41 damage, just base. Once they get that upgrade, they're going to be doing 44 damage, base. So, I mean, they kill Marines pretty darn quickly.
They actually kill everything pretty quickly. It's still a little bit strange, because, you know, in Wings of Liberty, they weren't even as good as the Brood War Ultralists, but now all of a sudden in Heart of the Swarm, they're like 10 times better than everything. This 3rd base is going to go down. Great target fire, and here's part of the problem of being Ultras Tech with no Infestors. They just pick up and go. They're going to go inside the main base, even some Widow Mines being left behind and forgotten by Minato. And inside this main base, more damage to be had.
Minato's not paying attention to these 2 Marines that are at the natural. They've already gotten 8 kills between the 2 of them. Ultralists starting to pick down stuff, but as you say, no Infestors. no ability to keep that down. And God, these Marines are really kick-ass.
They are. The Natural's going to... I mean, Minato's actually... He's actually sitting at 150 supply. I'm not quite sure where it's at. He doesn't seem to be... I mean, his fourth base is kind of mining, but he's still inkling out a few of these Ultras. He has, I think, a single Infestor. I feel like if we were doing, you know, that Seattle event you and I did, and you could gift him something, if you gave him 6 Infestors right now, he would have a scary, potentially game-ending army. But with just the one Infestor, I feel like we're about to see Kite City happen here.
Yeah, some Super Infestors would be kick-ass with their Mega Force Fields and their cross-map mind control, but here with just a single Infestor, look at how easily Moss is able to kite this.
There's a lot of stuff, though.
Many Ultralisks, but the mines, the kiting, the Marauders pulling back all the way, and this drop down at the 4th are just going to be devastating for Minato.
4th is not being realized right now. These Ultras are on an A move. They are getting thinned out. You can see their life trickling down. The very small force of Masa is extremely potent. You just can't catch it, and Masa is kiting for the win right now. The Ultras are going to get pursued, like I said, because that's all Minato's guys. Falling down 50 supply. His last mining base is getting picked up. Well, it's really healthy mining base. It's actually going to pull back these Ultras right now, but there's not a better future for these guys. In fact, they're going to pull over here to this 4th base of Masa. Meanwhile, that double drop is coming in, and only Lings are here to try to stop it. I don't know if that's enough. No?
Oh, gosh. I mean, Masa unloads, picks right back up again. Minato has absolutely no anti-air. Minato's trying to pick away these expansions, but at this point in time, if you're Terran and you're at 3 base, you're in pretty comfortable waters. Technically, this 3rd base is running a little low for Masa. In fact, his original 3 bases are running a little low, but he's about to be exploding up to 5 base versus the Zergs.
Yeah.
Basically 1.5 now.
And the problem, too, is if you're not killing those bases, like, sure, they're not really mining, but they're gathering mules as the game goes on, and they get dumped on, and then all of a sudden that income lurches upward just so high. Minato just now securing his 3rd base. But again, every time you look at one of these bases, not only is the main mined out, but both the natural and the 3rd are very sparsely populated. I mean, he actually only has 50 drones. That being said, though, Masa has an incredible 47 SCVs, so somewhere along the lines he forgot to make those as well.
Well, I mean, he's been losing a lot in these last battles. In the Workers Killed tab, Minato has killed 19 of them, but, I mean, hit that A button. Look at the Active Forces tab. It's like 6K, 2.5K for Masa, and like half that much for Minato.
Yeah.
Like maybe even 40% that much, so...
Well, Minato's going to make a stand. He's going to try to do it, but he does just have the 4 Ultralisks, and there is a significantly larger force moving in here. There's that kiting into the Widowmine field. Excuse me. 4 Ultras are now joined by a straggling amount of Zerglings. And Moss is playing this super safe at this point, which I think is funny. He's like ultra aggression when the game's close, and then afterwards he's like, you know what? Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's take our time. Oh my god, the medevacs.
Oh my god, that was 19 medevacs. Well, to each his own medevac.
Literally.
19 Marauders, 43 Marines. I mean, there's, like you say, there's almost as many medevacs as there are SCVs on the field. I mean...
Well, he is Canadian, Sean. They do believe in free healthcare. That's about as good as it gets right there.
That is true. In America, the Marauders actually heal the medevacs.
Exactly.
It's really weird.
So
we see this huge bio army moving right on in. The Widowmine gonna get ready to burrow. It doesn't even matter. Not even that much kiting is needed from Masa, but he's not gonna take any risks. Pulls back, destroys everything. Banelings roll in. Masa doesn't even need a kite. It's 180 to 62. Minato put up a solid starting performance, but Masa marks another win for ROOTGaming in his career.
Yeah.
That means the series is now tied up 1-1.
Masa with that much needed win for Team Root, tying it up as Sean did say. I mean, I got to say, Masa came out of the gate, took advantage with that 11 racks Reaper build, and never really let go. I mean, there was that one time, again, where the attack over at the 3rd of Minato's went really well for Minato, but even then, we both kind of noted, we're like, well, it went really well, but Masa's still up like 30 supply. I mean, I think he just gained an advantage that he was not willing to let go of all game long.
Well, looks like our next match coming up, not going to be a mirror match. In fact, there's only 2 mirror matches in this entire setup. This is one of the, the next match is a mirror match. There's only 2 coming up. After that, there will be no more. But whereas most people would be a little bit like, oh, a mirror match, aren't those kind of slow? Not with the next 2 players playing. Baby Knight from Navi going up against Puck from ROOTGaming. Both of them love playing unorthodox style. PvP is such a fucking awesome matchup.
Oh my god, I'm not allowed to curse on this. But oh my god, look, I can't help but love this matchup.
It's true.
Of all times to curse. Okay, now we need to spend a little bit of time talking about this. Most of the time people will make that slip up under panic, or like, oh my god, it's a surprise, or maybe if they're frustrated or angry. But for me, I was talking about my love of a mirror matchup. I am proud of who I am, Jeff.
I don't blame you for that. This is going to be awesome. Baby Night. I would say the more established PvPer, the more comfortable one in this role. I know that it's actually quite publicized that Puck does not like PvP. That being said, Puck did take the first series against Maxed in his WCS group just, I believe it was yesterday. Again, unfortunately, he would end up losing that deciding match to Maxed later. But the point is, Puck is quite good at PvP, and like you said, they both play a little bit of an unorthodox, aggressive brand of PvP. So I, too, am effing excited for this series because I can't wait.
F yeah. When we come back, a PvP between two tip-top PvP players.
See you soon.